All right, so this video we're going to talk about unattractive traits that men can have when they are dating a woman. And in many videos before, we've talked about unattractive traits that are more on the physical side, right? In this one, we want to talk about unattractive traits on the non-physical side.
It's an important video, and I discuss that a lot with my ladies that coming to my coaching. I ask them. So all of the video that we're doing from now on and always been made of the experience. But before we start the video, we would like to invite you to our annual rendezvous. We are going to Austin, Texas, and Texas.
Texas. She says Texas, and when she starts talking about Texas,
I start to worry. So we're going to Austin in April 2026. If you want to join us for a special Ukrainian meal, great chat with the like-minded guys, with a photo session and interesting experience, then please sign up. The link is in the description below. So, unattractive traits.
Yeah, because it's all good and well to try and focus on attractive traits, but it can all be undone with some of these unattractive things. Okay, so let's go through them pretty fast, shall we? Okay, so number one, what is it? And these are feedback we've got from women on dates, but also feedback that Luba's got from her coaching community as well. So number one, don't do this. It's seen as very, very unattractive. And it's talking too much about yourself in the sense of drawing attention to your strengths. For example.
Yeah, I want to clarify. So, some of the guys and the girls say they always have this idea, and I want to know what is the main idea for you guys that drive you in a relationship. But for the girls, it's like, don't believe words, believe actions, right? So the girls are looking for actions rather than saying that, I'm a problem solver, or I have a very good sense of humor, or I am I'm a very good person.
I'm a nice person.
I'm a nice
My
person.
friends describe me as being the life of the party. I'm funny. I'm good in bed, right?
Yeah.
So
especially.
yeah. So the problem with this, right? These may be absolutely true, and your friends always describe you as the life of the party. But what you do is you draw attention to it. So, for example, if you were to say,
no, say this about yourself. Like when you said, like if I come and say it was good, like I'm striker and I'm very funny. No, I mean people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, if I was just giving Luba an example. If I went somewhere to a new place with new people and I said, "Hi, my name is Striker and I'm pretty funny," all right? Everyone is going to be looking for me being funny. And I might say something that is a little bit funny and they think, "I thought he said he was funny." But if I never said anything at all and I said something that was a little bit funny, people would think, "Oh, that's funny. Hey, it's funny."
Yeah, that
right?
is very
so you draw attention to
yeah, there are some certain things that, you cannot see, you need to do something and this lady will understand it, because trust me, maybe it's not a good trait of ladies, but they pay attention a lot at little things. And a lot of guys say, oh, girls are very judgmental. They're judging. It's not judging, they're paying attention at little things. And saying something really strikers, right, is causing a lot of attention. So I would not advise to say it's unattractive when the guys say, I have good sense of humor, I'm a problem solver. Do it and then just, show her with the action then.
Yeah, the key is that she finds out the best parts about you by herself. Because even if you say that I am a nice person, it has zero weight. Because it's a positive statement. If you say something negative, it has like quite a bit of weight, depending on what it is. For example, if you say,
I'm a bad dancer, for example.
Yeah,
it's fine. I mean, that is fine. That is fine. She would say, it's okay, I will teach you, we will go to class together, like no worries. Or if you say like, I'm not very good at singing, that is fine. But guys try to...
No, that's not, those are bad examples.
Right.
If you were to say something like, I don't have a lot of patience with people, or I get angry easy. That is absolutely probably what's going to be. You could say, I'm a bad dancer. In fact, you could even say that when you know that you're actually an okay dancer, right? But no one's ever, you could say I'm a bad dancer and you go dancing and she goes, you're not that bad. But if you get angry at someone, she's not going to say.
That is underdog. Like it's even better when you're good at something and you say, I'm not so good at that. But coming to the second point, it's very important to have this line. So make sure that you know how to say, oh, I'm not a very good dancer, and not self-deprecate yourself. Right? Because self-deprecation is very, very unattractive trait. Although in my meaning, when we wrote this point here, self-deprecation is mostly when the guys are acting a little bit goofy on a date. And what I mean by that, I saw it several times when the guy is like, oh, I'm so clumsy, you know, oh, I always spit the food on my shirt, oh, I'm just a silly man, you know, what do I
I
know?
always get lost
I always get,
whenever
yeah.
I go somewhere new, I always get lost.
Yeah,
So
and so, you know, the problem that we've got here is that you try to, with the humor, a little bit, with a good sense of humor that you just mentioned in a previous point, you just try to kind of like overcome your stress or overcome your unconfidence, because most of the
maybe an
insecurity, yeah, because most of the time, like for the girls, it usually happened like like this giggling, you know, when you worry to say something. So the guys don't giggle; they say something that self.
Yeah, and it's this is partly a cultural thing as well. I don't know why in the West it seems so normal to kind of like talk shit about yourself, but I think it's from, you know, our generations of sitcom movies, you know, like Married with Children and The Simpsons, and they kind of always self-deprecate all the time, and it sort of became kind of normal to do that. You know, it became part of normal society. But if you really think about it, you know, if you're saying something bad about yourself, what's how can you expect that somebody else is not going to think the exact same thing about you? So if you're saying to yourself, you know, I'm clueless when it comes to putting together IKEA furniture or something like that, well, why would anybody else think anything different of you other than this person is clueless? Period. Right? You know, so yeah, so just don't self-deprecate. Like hold your head high and be I know how to do everything, and if I don't, I'll just kind of like fake it.
Because like we even say to the guys, like when they come to the new country, and this happened to everyone, you're going with a map, you know, and you may go to wrong direction, then you may go to another direction, you try to understand where this arrow is pointing. But it's one thing to say, oh, I don't know what to do, just, you know, open your map and check in, or if you go other way and say, it's exactly where I wanted to go, I wanted to do a detour, I wanted to show you around. So like that is a good sense of humor. That is
you know what I do? I turn my phone off and I pretend the battery went flat.
Mm.
Next
I
one.
noticed that. So third one is talking about your assets and money.
Assets, not asses. But that's, you also don't talk about asses, especially your own.
Like, do you have many?
I have a few.
So about money, because what's happening is that what I noticed is that some of the guys, they and the girls also mentioning that, especially European guys, oh, I have a house, I have a land, I have this, I have that, I have that. And so at the same time, guys talking about money, and they don't want girl to be attracted to him because of his money. And so like he's kind of selling himself. At the same time, he's upset that the girls are with him only because of his money. Or sometimes it happened that the guy has nothing and he's not, like, he's very unconfident, like he had like low self-esteem, and he's showing, like, you know, he wants to show their house. And the ladies, most of the time, especially the ladies that are looking for serious relationship, they are saying that I'm not going to get married with your house, I'm not getting ready, getting married with your cars, I'm literally getting married with you. Because a lot of people understand that cars and houses can come and go, right? Like I mean, you may lose everything, but the person is staying there. And by you flashing, like on the first call or like video chat or pictures, you know, it's my house, it's my land, doesn't really play good for you. You agree?
Yeah, I think that it depends. I think that it's because, yeah, if there is, the person is trying to overcompensate because they may feel that they're not enough, they need to have something else more. And so the more that they're overcompensating, probably the less they feel their own self-worth and that a woman could be attracted to them. And we have had instances of this in the past where, yeah, the guy's like showing his house and it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, the house is nice, but it's not like that great that she's going to, you know, put aside any other traits, bad traits or anything she's not attracted to live in this house. Like it's not the, you know, Buckingham Palace.
I think it's like setting up the wrong values. Like it's you know, you're looking for person who cherish like family values, human values, relationship values, and you're showing the house, and you immediately put her on a stage where, you know, if she likes that, then, you know, her values are, you know, more financial and material.
Yeah. Also, you know, I've spoken about this many times before, and there's huge power in her discovering stuff herself. It has so much more impact on her when she realizes that you have a nice house and she says, I didn't know that you lived on this beautiful ranch. And you say, oh yeah, I do. Like now she's thinking, oh, okay, so he's mysterious, right? So rather than if you show it to her, she's like, okay, yeah, that's nice. Like what reaction should I do? Should I be like, wow? There's not much reaction.
We had a client before, and he had a collection of Ferraris, and he told us about that, and he said, I have an urge to show, and he started dating a lady, and we said to him, please do not mention, do not show, do not say to her anything about your Ferraris, because that will benefit you so much. He was really very, very wealthy guy, and so he was like, he wanted to tell her, he wanted to show her, and he showed her when she already relocated to California, to his house, and she opened garage, and she was like, what is that? That is cool. You know,
And
that
she has crashed every single one of them.
not true, but yeah, that is how it should be. The next one, I would like to invite you to our Telegram community. It's the fastest way to reach out to me and Striker, and also like I attend a lot of different meetings with the ladies where I show only on Telegram, and also there's another subscribers that discussing interesting topics all the time, and you can get answers to your questions. I'm waiting for you there.
Okay, so asking for help. We've got a video coming up soon about frame. We talk about frame a lot of channels talk about frame. So we try to figure out how to explain frame to you really simply. So part of that falls into this. So you don't want to be asking her for help almost at all when you don't know each other. For example, can I use your phone? My Wi-Fi doesn't work. Can you tell us where to go? Can you book this restaurant? Can you do this? Can you do that? What it's doing is it's shifting the power that you have, the frame, over to her, and she's going to feel it. She's going to feel it little bit by little bit by little bit by little bit, and it's very unattractive, and it puts her into the masculine. And once you put a woman into the masculine, it is virtually impossible for her to fall in love with a man.
It's either a friend zone, you know, most of the time, or it just nothing, like the relationship doesn't work. The thing is that I see that, and it makes sense from the guy's point of view when they say that, you know, but I came to a different place. She live in Germany. I don't know anything about Germany. I don't speak the language, so she should help me. Absolutely, she can. And she can help also the neighbor. She can also help that babushka who is crossing the street. She can. And I don't want to underestimate the power of women. But I teach my ladies to a little bit take off their golden balls, you know, put them somewhere and just keep be a little bit more feminine and let the guy lead. And I was watching one video. It was I couldn't understand what she's talking about. So she said, when you drive with your man, and this is Ukrainian woman, and I also notice that I can be like that, and I don't like it. So it's something like so you drive with your man, he's driving, and you're looking for the, you know, where he needs to park, and sometimes it's frustrated. Yes, you're looking for the parking spot, but sometimes you look and you see the better one. So she said, take a chewing gum, then take a second one, and better to take 3 so your mouth is full, because Ukrainian girl can sometimes be like, and this is what I don't like, you know, she say, it's not the right how you cut the onion. You know,
I've experienced this.
Yeah, I know. And you know, and like, or the girl would say, I will do it myself, you do everything wrong. Like, I don't know, this is something from our childhood. This is maybe the way how we've been taught, you know, by our parents, because it's not like how nowadays culture is like, oh, you make such a nice mess, it's okay, oh, you learn how to eat. Like, I think that my mom
That's how women speak to men?
No, to kids, you know, I was talking about the kids. But no, but it's like the culture, because I know that, like, I mean, it's maybe funny, maybe not, but how you call it, like when the kids are like on dog position? No, not dog position.
Crawling.
Yeah, crawling. And and so my mom didn't allow me to crawl, because she thought that, you know, she didn't want my knees to have a holes, like my pants have a holes, because we didn't have any. I'm from a very poor family, and we didn't have another pants. It makes sense, but nowadays everybody say that the crawling is the most important, you know, thing for the childhood to develop, and you need to let them eat, and they need to spill the food and etc. When in my childhood it was very conservative. No, we're eating everything like and like everything should be clean. So the same, like, this is why Ukrainian girls can be a little bit harsh about that. And so can they help you? Absolutely. But they, Striker said, immediately stop seeing you in your frame as a masculine. And it's better if you make mistake rather than ask your, we're talking now about almost like the start of the relationship. Yeah. It's a courtship. It's when the man needs to come to her and say, hey, you know, here's my cave, let's go, you know. So don't judge that she will never help you and she will sit there as a princess. Absolutely not. It's just like almost like the first week, you know, the first trip, the first meetings. It's a demonstration of how capable you are, or how well you can solve a problem. And if you, I mean, okay, let's say you're trying to work out the maps on the Google, right? And you've been trying for a while and you really can't do it.
and you're looking a bit stupid, and you could maybe say, yeah, can we just share the Wi-Fi, whatever it is? Yes, but after you've like really tried to do it, not just, "Oh, it's not working. Oh, can I just use your phone? Or can you do it, Google it
Yeah.
for me?" Okay, so, and it's really, very important, this is really important. Okay, number 5, overly emotional / overreacting, which is the same as overly emotional. Again, very early on in the interaction, she's got nothing to go on. So sometimes we say this to clients, we say, just please don't do anything emotional. If the guy maybe is an emotional kind of a person, we say, don't show this emotion. But he says, but that's who I really am, and I want her to know that. And so, but that's all she will know about you. If you show this right at the start of the interaction, she's got nothing before, and she can't see the future, so she has nothing afterwards as well. So if you are an emotional guy, you have to hold that in, and you have to demonstrate that you do have these masculine traits prior to all of that. And then later on, something happens, you watch Forrest Gump, and you get a tear in your eye. It's
Titanic.
fine. What?
Or Titanic.
I've never seen the Titanic. I don't think it would resonate well with my emotions. And so then you can, and it's fine because she already knows. She's already got some history to look back on. But at the start, and also, and that's just not meaning, I don't just mean emotional as in crying. It could also be emotional as in angry.
Angry, and angry is like
Hangry.
Hangry is even more like common, because unfortunately what we see is that the guy can write something, there would be slight misunderstanding, and then there would be overreaction, and the guy would say something kind of almost like rude, because
You're talking about correspondence.
I talk about correspondence, and it would be like, that's it. And then after a few days, he reach out to us and say, oops, like I've done that. How can I reverse it? Like there is no way to reverse. With the woman, I don't like it, but that is something I think about how, again, we've been raised. So, and this is difficult to understand. So if the girl is like, we're breaking up, I don't love you anymore, bye. She's seeking for attention. The girl is like, not really mean that. She's looking for, no, like, stay, my dear, love you. You want so when the girls say no, it doesn't really mean no. So it's a little secret for you guys. But when the guy in Ukraine is leaving, he say, I'm leaving. There's no joke. So the guy already put a lot of thoughts about that. And if he say that he's leaving, there is no way that he will be back. So that is really bad. This is Ukrainian situation. And so, but on the West, it's a little bit different. So the guy can say something, and then because he overreacted, and then he thinks that it can go back. But in Ukrainian mentality, like in the mentality of Ukrainian girl, it doesn't really resonate that well. Because if he said her something, kind of that's the end of the story.
So I was going to say overreacting, such as on a first date and you get angry with the waiter. But your one is a little bit maybe down the track.
But I'm talking
right.
But I'm talking about.
Yeah, I just went from the waiter brought out the steak undercooked, and you're talking about she's leaving because she doesn't love him anymore. Goodbye. There's other stuff that happens in between those 2 points.
It's like it's probably
there's
years.
A lot of
but
stuff.
What I'm saying is that it may be too much. But what I'm saying, just recently something happened. But what I'm trying to say is that when the guy is like overreacting or he's aggressive, for the girl is like super red flag. And he may be emotional, yes, because the steak is raw or the food is not as tasty as they're being discussed in feedbacks or reviews. And so so it can be, but it's not a very attractive. It's unattractive trait. That's it.
But again, she's only got that interaction to go on. She doesn't know what you were like before or what you're going to be like in the future. So if she sees that you've overreacted on something because you were frustrated or whatever it is, then she just assumes that's how you always are.
I was on consultation, and one girl told me, she said she was dating a guy for quite some time, so the interaction started that they bought coffee, and the coffee was just absolutely disgusting. It was like really, really bad. And she took it. It was like some sort of like Starbucks or something, and she didn't like it, but she decided to pretend that it's okay. She said, oh, such a delicious coffee, thank you so much. Like she was super positive, like really super positive girl. And the guy sipped it, and he also didn't like it. Like he also didn't like it. Was really bad. It was burnt. It was like really bad. And they walking with this coffee, both of them struggling to drink it, but like both pretending that everything is good and everything is very positive. And like after maybe a couple of minutes, they just realized that they both can't drink it. And I don't remember, she said, like maybe he said, actually, like it's not a good coffee. And she said, yeah, I agree. And so they start laughing about that. they didn't get nasty, you know, they didn't get like, ah, it's a horrible coffee, it's a awful thing, you know. They was positive about that. So I think that when you start dating, you're not at work, you're not with your coworkers, you're not the boss, you're in a different circumstance. So try to be as positive as you can be. And emotional side is okay to show, as Striker mentioned, you know, a little bit later in time when you really know each other better, and that not seems
You shouldn't
weird.
really, even in, like, you shouldn't even be anywhere near a conversation that's going to get you emotional on the first few dates. Nowhere near it. And if
Yeah,
you
not
feel
at all.
like you're getting there, steer the conversation off because it's not good.
I
Right?
just want to clarify because you make me look a little bit dummy.
I did that. Is that me that did that? Is it?
No, it's like I'm not talking.
Sorry.
I'm not talking only about this like later in the relationship, but I talk about like anything that you can say. You know, when the girls say no, it doesn't mean no. Like if the guy wants to kiss her, no, it's also a bad example.
Yeah, we're going into an uncharted territory here. If she says no, it might mean no. You know.
It might mean no, but not necessarily.
Oh,
It's
we're
difficult.
gonna get cancelled. Anyway, so the next one is number 6. Oh, is that number 6? Yeah, number 6, which is complaining.
Yeah, it's about coffee. It's like some guys they
Coffee?
yeah,
It's about complaining.
but it's like the guys complain.
Complaining, not
Look,
coffee. It
no,
says
I
complaining.
just said about coffee on the previous
Yeah.
video.
Okay.
No, but complaining, it's true. Like, I don't know, some guys, when they travel, they experience different, and the train can be slow, or like it can be late, or the service can be not as they used to. Like, for example, in United States and Europe is very different, or something, and the guy is coming on a date. It's we call it like charged, but charged not in a good way, but charged in like, you know, this and like this hotel, like, you know, the pillows were not convenient, this was not convenient, and this is very unattractive. This is very unattractive when the guy is negative, and the lady as well, I guess.
Any
The
complaining.
same, right?
It's any complaining. You can be complaining about your boss. You can be complaining about
Ex.
anything like that. Ex, girlfriend or wife, not eggs. You're complaining about the eggs. I bought eggs. I thought they were size 6, but they were size 4.
You know that guys will defend me and will comment bad about you on this video.
Oh, well, they will now.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Anyway, so those are just some non-physical, unattractive traits. Easy to fix, but these things happen. So that's why we make a video about it. So you don't do it. See ya.
See you.